with your new haircut.
Hey, thanks.
See, something about girls with a new haircut. You just, they look all like...
Different?
Yeah, well, no, you just look happy with your new hair. It looks nice.
I am happy. And it's easy. It's so easy.
It's so easy.
It is.
Yeah. The sad thing is, I used to have my hair like that, and it didn't
Really?
look nearly as good. But it looks good. Now, where you just been from? Where you just come back?
I was in New York for a couple of days.
Oh, okay. Now, what was going on there?
I went to do Regis and Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that was good. How was Reed? Okay?
It was okay. He didn't know how to pronounce my name, though.
What do you...
Well, he called me Neve. Like,
Neve?
he said, Neve Campbell. I was like, wow.
Oh,
And he got it wrong twice. And then I ended up on the show for like 30 seconds.
What?
They ran out of time. So I flew there and I was on for 30 seconds and he pronounced my name wrong and then I left.
Oh.
I was a little bummed.
Now, did you correct him and say...
I did correct him and then he got it wrong again. I was like, all right, Regis.
There you are.
No, it was fine. It was fine.
No, he's a good guy.
No, they're lovely. They're lovely.
Lovely
I was just bummed I didn't get to stay on a little longer.
Well,
but it was fine.
I'm sure they'll have you back for the whole hour. Now, I read somewhere that you were in a snowboarding accident, but you look fine.
Well, I'm okay now. No, but I went snowboarding. Yeah, in Canada. I went on the Canadian Rocky Mountains on top of a glacier out of a helicopter.
Okay, hang on. So you go to the the Rocky Mountains.
Yes. Yeah.
And you drop from a helicopter onto a glacier.
Yeah, you point out the glacier you want to go to, and then they see whether there's avalanches that day, and then they decide whether it's okay. And then they drop you off, and then you get out, and they leave you.
Okay. So I assume you're obviously an expert snowboarder.
No, I'd never done it before.
Well, you've never done it before. You've never been on a snowboard, so you go, I want to be dropped from a helicopter onto a glacier. I mean, didn't you have something in your backyard, a little hill? How'd you know you were going to
No, but my friends were like, it's powder, it's pure powder, it's actually safer than at the resorts, you'll be fine.
But you're jumping out of a helicopter.
No, I know. I should have realized that. And I dislocated my knee. I wiped out the second day.
Wait. When you said you should have realized it, didn't you realize it when you were in the helicopter? That you were jumping out of a helicopter? I mean, when you're in the helicopter, did you not realize you were in the helicopter when you were in the helicopter? Were there drugs involved on this trip?
No, there weren't. I thought it would be okay because they said it would be okay. And then
They said being
my friends.
Well, how about the company that has the helicopter? I mean, at any point did someone say to you from the company, I assume, Neve, that you're a...
Well, I think they actually were a little surprised that I hadn't snowboarded before because they usually get like professional snowboarders, people who snowboard all the time. People will practice for 2 weeks before they go to the
But I never heard of them. I mean, did you annoy them and they pushed you out of the helicopter? Is that what happened?
No, they were like, okay, you came up here, you want to do it, come with us, and I did, and yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
all right. So they push you out of the helicopter. You're on a glacier.
Yeah.
And you go pretty fast, right?
Really fast. And my problem is I'm a dancer, so I have good balance. So I figured out how to balance before I figured out how to slow down or stop. So that was my problem. Like, it was my second day, and it was lunchtime, and it was our last run before lunch, and I made it down 800 feet to the helicopter, and I had to stop because there was a cliff, and I didn't know how to stop, so I just threw my body. And then, yeah, my knee popped right out. It was,
Ow.
Yeah, it was bad. But at least I landed next to the helicopters. They didn't have to come get me.
Yeah, that was nice. Because that would have been extra. Okay.
Yeah.
So you used your dancing skills to...
Yeah, to get down really fast and then wipe out, basically.
All right. Now, is that the most dangerous stunt you think you've ever done?
No, I've gone scuba diving with like 50 gray sharks, and that's kind
Okay,
of
now
fun.
why? Why would you go scuba diving with 50 sharks?
Well, I
and
don't
why
know.
50? Why not one shark and see if you like it?
I don't know. My friends said it would be okay.
Who are these people? Are these people the beneficiaries of your insurance policy?
Probably.
You know, if you're a woman, I wouldn't advise you to walk in a room with 50 guys. Forget 50 sharks. I mean, so you're in a room and there are 50 sharks, and your friends said it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I had gone, the first day we went, there was manta rays and stingrays, and the second day we went, there were like huge lemon sharks, but they're not supposed to be dangerous. And the third day, they said, we're going to go on this other dive. And I was like, okay, it's the shark dive. Well, I've already been with lemon sharks. It was fine. I didn't realize that when I went down, you hit the bottom of this area of the ocean, and you look up, and all these sharks start surrounding you, and then he says, okay, this is a cool part, and they throw food out of the boat above you. And the sharks race up and they have this feeding frenzy, and you're underneath watching them freak out. And then you have to wait. You have to wait for them to swim away again and relax before you can go back up to the boat.
Are you sure the sharks aren't watching you freak
know.
out? I mean, it seems to me when you see this part, isn't that a sign that maybe there's...
It should have been, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't hurt my knees, so I was okay.
You know, when I was a kid, my mother would always say this to me, and I never met anyone that actually did it. If he jumped off the Empire State Building with you, but you're the person she was talking about.
Yeah.
You're the person, if they said to do it, you would do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Well, that's okay. Now, tell me about the movie, Last Call. This is F. Scott Fitzgerald's,
Yes,
right?
it's a piece about F. Scott Fitzgerald
Right.
and a young woman, Frances Kroll Ring, who was his assistant for the last year of his life.
Okay.
And it's about their friendship and what he was doing while he was writing The Last Tycoon.
Okay. Now, he was, at this point of his life, I think, wasn't he was pretty broke, right?
He was fairly broke, but he was working for the studios also, and he was supporting, Zelda, who was in an institution at the time, and his daughter Scotty, who was going to Vassar, and so he was still functioning.
Yeah.
And the woman, Frances, who I played, she's still alive. She wrote a book called Against the Current, and she just wanted people to know that he wasn't as dysfunctional as people say he is, or say he was. That he actually was working and making money and obviously talented and still writing.
So their relationship was one of friendship. It wasn't romance.
No, it wasn't.
Right.
For her, she was 23, so I think it was her first love. She won't say that, but she'll say he made her swoon. And I think he really inspired her.
Okay, and how old was he?
He was at the time 44.
44?
Yeah, 43, 44.
Okay, why would a 44-year-old guy be interested in a 23-year-old? That's ridiculous.
Well, she was close to she was close to his daughter's age, so nothing happened.
Yeah.
But she definitely had an intrigue there.
Well, it's been getting wonderful reviews.
Yeah.
And with Jeremy Irons, and he's a terrific actor,
He's
too.
fantastic.
Now, he seems like is he intimidating?
Well, I was intimidated at first. I mean, he's won like every award there is, and I was going to go and work with him. And it's basically like a two-man play. It's basically the two of us for the whole thing.
Okay.
But he's lovely. He was lovely and supportive and sweet. And he owns a castle. Did you know that?
Oh, I see this coming. No, I didn't know he had a
Yes,
castle.
he owns a castle in Ireland. How
Wow.
cool is that? Like, how
So if
many
he took you
people
to his castle and said, "This is the dungeon,"
No, he doesn't. No, he
Well, I
doesn't
know
have
what to
one.
do.
And he doesn't have one, and he doesn't have a moat or a drawbridge. So I told him, well, that's not a castle.
That's not- oh, so
I'm
it's
not
not-
coming until you put a moat in.
well, this is. I think there's going to be more to this story. Well, anyway, that's tomorrow night on Showtime,
Yes,
right?
that's
Well,
right.
congratulations on the reviews on it. Neve Campbell, be right back with Mekhi Phifer right after this.